Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Immigration USA. Today I have good news from the USCIS. This is for people that have compelling circumstances so they can obtain a work permit so they can travel to the country. Of course, it has to be urgent. If you have a situation, compelling circumstances means that you have an issue in your family, death in the family, any kind of urgency that says that you need to travel back to your country and come back to the US. So I'm going to break it down in this video. With that, you can get a work permit. You can go and come back to the USA with no issues. So stay tuned. Okay guys, this news came from the USCIS, but at first I'm going to explain what is the compelling circumstances is. So in order to eligible for the EAD based on compelling circumstances, you must face these issues: serious illness, disability faced by non-immigrant worker or his or her dependent, and also employer retaliation, retaliation against the non-immigrant worker, and other substantial harm on the applicant and significant disruptions to the employer. So, you must face those issues in order to qualify the employment authorization based on compelling circumstances, okay? So, in other words, you want to leave the United States, for example, and come back, but your EAD is not ready yet. You qualify for one, but it is not, you didn't apply yet, or it is pending or whatever, and you want to leave right now, go back to your country and come back. So you need some sort of a status, which means that the work permit is a legal status. So you can travel and come back based on compelling circumstances. And also when you travel, you need the travel documentation as well, which is the form I-131. And now let's go straight to the news. So the USCIS provide guidance on employment authorization documents based on compelling circumstances. So this news was released today. It's a policy, the guidance on eligibility criteria for initial renewal application for employment authorization documents, EAD, in compelling circumstances based on existing regulatory requirements, okay? So to be eligible, there's tons of criteria. For an applicant to be eligible for an initial EAD based on compelling circumstances, they must meet the following eligibility requirements, okay? So the principal applicant, the principal means that you are an applicant and then you have children and spouse. So those spouse, they're not your children, and your spouse, they're not the principal applicants. You are the principal applicant. So the principal applicant is the beneficiary of an approved I-140 non-immigrant petition for alien worker in either field, first, second, or third employment-based category, okay? Suppose that you got an approved I-140, but you haven't applied for the adjustment status yet, and then you don't have nothing in that case. And then you want to travel to your country and come back to the US, but to travel, you must have some sort of legal status, of course. So that's when you apply for the compelling EAD, you must have an approved I-140. And also the principal applicant in a valid visas such as E3, H1B, H1B1, Q1, and L1. That's a non-immigrant status. So with this, you can file the I-765 based on compelling circumstances, something that shows that you have to go back to your country and come back, or retaliation from employer, like anything that I mentioned before. And the third one is the applicant has not filed adjustment of status. So, like I say at the first one, the principal applicant must be beneficiary based on I-140, but that applicant has not applied for the adjustment of status, which is the I-485. So, in order to qualify for this work permit based on company circumstances, you must not file I-485, which is the adjustment of status. And you know that if you file adjustment of status, you get a work permit while your application is pending. So you're not eligible for the work permit based on compelling circumstances because you have filed adjustment status, which is the form I-485. Okay. And one of the criteria again is an immigrant visa is not available for the principal applicant based on the applicant's priority date according to the relevant final action date, okay, in the US. So you apply for an immigrant visa based on petition, family petition, second preference, for example, family preference, for example, and then your priority date is not up yet, so you cannot get anything. Okay. If you have an I-130 approved and your priority date is not up yet, is not up to date, so you cannot get anything, you don't get a work permit. Once your priority date is up, that's when, while it's pending, that's when you get a work permit. But during that time, you don't get anything. So if you have an emergency that you need to go home, back, you need to go home, something happened, death in the family, you know, anything that's very important that you need to go, if you qualify, if the reason you give is in compliance with this new rule, you can get a work permit and you can go travel and come back, okay? And one of the eligibility requirement is if the applicants and their dependents have not been convicted of any felony, you know, if you have a felony in the US or misdemeanor, you know, if you have those, it can jeopardize your status in the US, for example. As I mentioned before, you must be eligible for the EAD, the Employment Authorization, but the applicant and their dependent, if the applicant and their dependent have not been convicted for felony or misdemeanor, so if you have one of those, you cannot get this kind of work permit. And then once you apply, the USCIS determines as a matter of discretion that the principal applicant demonstrate compelling circumstances that justify the issuance of the work permit. So that's the news today from the USCIS. So you can check it out. I'm gonna put the link down below so you can go see it. You can read more and understand all the requirement, and then from that you can determine if whether you're eligible or not. But that's what it is. But again, guys, you know, this is only news that I got from the USCIS today. And before you do anything, make sure you consult an attorney. Ask an attorney that knows everything about immigration attorney. They are certified to assist applicants, you know, on their immigration journey. So you need to consult an attorney before you do anything. So the information I gave you today is just from the USCIS. It is nothing like, it's not an advice or anything like that. It's just straight news from the USCIS in case you don't know about it. So this is the news that I gave you today. And check the link down below. I got a link that takes you to that website where you can see everything. You can read it and you can understand better. And guys, this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and smash that notification bell for more video in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.